being one of the people who saw the first season of Bojack Horseman and actually enjoyed it, I can say I was really excited when I heard they were doing a Christmas special, and I watched it about a day after hearing about its release. And yeah, that was a pretty cool idea, you know, bringing a show back, just do a Christmas special. I know that they're getting a second season, but having that little special in between was a really unique idea. Was it good? Well, not really. It was actually pretty boring. The thing is, the episode actually takes a look at the show within a show, Horsing Around, which is Bojack Horseman's old sitcom series. And it's pretty much just very boring, I guess I could say. And the thing is, it's kind of intentionally boring, but being intentionally boring does not mean you're not boring. Yeah, it's done as if it's a sitcom, and just like one of those really old, terrible sitcoms, and I will admit, they captured the feel of an old, terrible sitcom very well, but again, that doesn't mean it's funny. It actually means it's pretty damn boring. So, yeah, I'm not too crazy for the Christmas special. I love the show, don't get me wrong, I thought it was a really good show, but I don't see much in this special, if you want me to be dead honest with you. Sorry to be a downer. If you liked, that's great, but it just really did not do it for me, and I kind of doubt it did it for other people, but I haven't really actually looked into other people's opinions on this. I thought the whole thing was just very boring to watch. Now, that doesn't mean there weren't any good jokes at all. There were a few good jokes here and there, and there was some times I legitimately laughed at the show, but most of them were when it was like Bojack and Todd talking to each other rather than them watching the actual sitcom. I don't know if there was anything from the sitcom part that actually made me laugh, and just the fact that I can't remember that is a pretty big problem. Now, one thing I will say is I did watch till the very end, so the special at least succeeded in keeping me watching till the very end. I was kind of intrigued to figure out what's going to happen, but not too intrigued. And what I will say in its defense is I understand why they did this. Horsing Around is a series that they've only shown little clips of throughout the series, so I think it's kind of a cool idea to do a full-length episode like that. I like that idea. It's just, I don't know, maybe do it for an episode within the actual season instead of like giving us this one Christmas special. Like if we had like a bunch of episodes released and one about Horsing Around, that would have been cool because we would have had the other episodes to enjoy still. But I guess it does make sense to do that for the Christmas special. It's just, after waiting for so long, I'm a little bit disappointed that this is what we get. Now again, I kind of understand why they did it. It's Christmas, it's kind of a, you know, it's just their corny Christmas special done in a sitcom version. I can kind of understand why they did that. It does relate to the show pretty decently. It's just, I think even with that, they could have done something a lot more clever with it. I don't know, it's kind of hard to say because I understand it was trying to be like an actual old sitcom, and I do think it succeeded. But it was just so boring to watch, and it seems like that's what they were trying to do, but why do you want to try to be boring? I don't know. I think that there's something they could have done to make it more clever and more funny to watch, but aside from a couple of good lines that, again, aren't actually from the sitcom part of the episode, which is a good 99% of the episode, it was pretty boring. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. It was really boring. One more thing, I don't like the ending. Bojack Horseman is a show that has had a lot of messages at the end of the episodes, and they're always really downer messages, because the show really is just a downer show with their main character. But it was always really good. They were downer messages, but they were really well thought out messages, and yes, they're kind of like life sucks messages, and, you know, it's a very negative way to look at life, but I mean, a lot of them were well done, a lot of them were very well thought out, and they weren't all downer messages. A lot of them were really, you know, some of them were really nice, some of them were really unique, but there was some stuff in this show that I've never seen done before, or anyone try to talk about before in such a way, and I always loved Bojack for this. The message that this Christmas special tries to give at the end is that Christmas really isn't any different from any other day, aside from the fact that we treat it like it's different from any other day. And again, very down way to look at that, very negative way to look at such a wonderful holiday, and I know a lot of people, you know, some people associate it with a bad time, or they just simply don't care about Christmas, but a lot of people do. And you know, maybe that is true. Maybe it is only, you know, seen like that because of the significance we give it, but isn't that kind of why it's special? I mean, yeah, we do treat it differently than any other day. Just because someone treats a day like it's special, though, doesn't mean it's not special, to them at least. And this holiday is special to so many people, whether you're religious or not, and there's just so much good in the holiday, and I know, again, not every single person sees it that way, but I just can't stand the message that this episode tries to give at the end. I'm not offended or anything. I definitely understand what they were trying to say. And it did have like a decent thing at the end where it doesn't have to be a special holiday to do something with someone that you care about. I get that. I agree with that part, but that doesn't mean that there's nothing special about this holiday. I mean, it's a happy time of the year that a lot of people love, including myself. So I just thought it was a pretty shitty message to try to throw out. I know I'm being pretty preachy with this ending, and I'll stop talking about it, but basically all I wanted to say is Christmas is as special as you make it, and this special kind of takes it as a real downer thing, and it's kind of depressing. Bojack Horseman always has been kind of depressing, though, so I guess it does fit in with the show again. I don't know. I guess the best way I can sum it up is it's a bad Bojack Horseman episode just because it's not entertaining to watch. It does everything like a Bojack Horseman episode would do, and there's nothing really that terribly wrong with it, I guess. It's just pretty boring, I guess disappointing just because I've been waiting so long for the next season to come out. But, okay, they made a special I didn't like. It's not the end of the world. It's not the best thing, but maybe you'll like it. Check it out if you're a fan of the show. I'd say it's worth looking at if you like the show. It's just, don't expect to laugh as much as you did watching the actual episodes. Not a good Christmas special, but still a great show.